Welcome to The Amy Gregory Show, the show where real estate gets a reality check and success doesn't require burnout. I'm Amy, your straight shooting, pep talk in your pocket host who took the real estate world by storm with zero cold calls, no door knocking, and a firm no thanks to working 50-hour weeks. 8 years ago, I jumped into real estate with both feet, 3 kids, and a baby on the way. In my rookie year, I broke every rule in the book, earning 6 figures working just 10 hours a week. The industry was shocked. I wasn't. Now, I lead a powerhouse team of over 500 female solo agents nationwide, host retreats, create online courses, and sit proudly in the top 10 of my brokerage with over 85,000 agents. My mission? To help women like you scale your business, trust your intuition, and redefine what success looks like on your terms. So if you're ready to play big, ditch the hustle culture, and build a business that fits your life, not the other way around, you're in the right place. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the Amy Gregory Show. You guys are in for a treat today because I have one of my powerhouse agents with me, Sarah Roy, and she is like a new construction ninja. She's on social media. She has, how much did your business grow last year in 2024?
Exponentially.
Like
I sold 14 million.
Okay, but what did you do in 2023?
Like 10 million.
Okay, so that's a big jump.
Yeah, it's a big jump.
And like when you look at percentages, that's a big jump. Mm-hmm. Also, 2024 saw the fewest amount of transactions we've seen in 35 years. So to grow your business means you ate.
Yeah.
That's what Catherine said.
Right.
Catherine McIntyre said you ate. And I was like,
I love her.
Can we say that now?
It's
or
true.
are we too old? You're young. I'm too old to talk like that.
We can say that. But no, and then honestly, I think growing so much and getting through so many difficult transactions in 2024 set me up hugely for this year.
Yeah, because how are you pacing this year?
I have 8 million closed and pending right now.
Yeah, and we're not even
So I would anticipate,
through.
We're in April, I would anticipate that I'll get
push
close to 20.
Million. Yeah, close to 20.
That's wild.
Okay, and so you started specializing, correct me if I'm wrong, she's in Spokane. See, like we just jump into it. Like no introductions necessary. We're not going to talk about where she's from, how long she's been licensed.
Washington.
Okay, but you do kind of specialize in new construction. Like what would you say your percentage of deals are that are new construction?
So I did 12 in 2024. And I closed 33 homes. Okay. So that was what, like 30, it was like 1/3 was new construction. And then this year so far, I think I have like 6 pending and closed. Okay. New builds. So it's going to keep on track with that same kind of amount.
Okay, so tell us about new builds. I'm an agent. I'm doing a lot of buyers.
So I saw the benefit to myself as an agent in new construction because, to be totally frank with you, it's a little bit easier, and I put easier in quotes, right?
Quotation
Is anything
marks.
easy? Right?
Yeah, quotation marks
easier than doing a traditional resale transaction in the way that I don't have to write the contract.
Yep.
The builder sales rep writes the contract. In Spokane, at least, I know it differs, between what market you're in, but in Spokane, compensation for buyer's agents, 2.5–3%.
Yep.
That's it. I don't have to negotiate anything.
Yeah.
It's there. The inspection, we get an inspection done. Yeah. Great. Send the inspection report to the builder. Yeah. They fix everything. Yeah. So for me, I saw the opportunity and I'm like, okay, I need to learn a little bit of the nuances of new construction. My husband, Brandon, and I, we built our current house we live in 2021. Yeah. So I was very familiar with the nuances of how new construction worked, the process. We bought a house when it was just a foundation and a lot, and then we built our beautiful home we live in now. And so I kind of understood it, and I'm like, okay, no one in Spokane is doing that.
Okay, that's the other thing too, is like you see like a gap in the market.
It was a huge gap.
Did people think did other agents kind of roll their eyes at you like, oh my gosh,
I thought,
Sarah, what is Sarah doing?
You know what? I hope they didn't. They probably did. But for myself, Catherine McIntyre sat me down in like fall of 2023, and she was like, hey, I know what you like. We've been friends for years. Yeah. And she's like, listen, I see that this could be an opportunity for you. Maybe you should try this. Yeah. And I was like, I'll chew on it for a few months. I'm like, okay, January rolls around. We're all excited. We're in the new year. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to full send.
Yeah.
I'm going to full send, and I'm still going to do resale, of course.
Yeah.
But I'm going to just talk about new construction.
I love that.
And I'm going to see what happens. And it was like, it probably took, I would say, a good like 3 to 4 months for people to understand.
Yeah.
Like what I was doing. Like clients were like, oh, yeah, she can still sell me a home, but if I want a new home, then she can really help me. And she's absolutely the one for me because she understands it.
Yeah.
So it was a very cool progression. Now here we are, and now people really, they're like, oh yeah, Sarah does new construction.
Yeah.
I'm like,
well, which is a huge thing. The other thing though for new construction, which I think agents sometimes like it deters them, is it's a longer build time. Right.
Potentially.
So your quote unquote paycheck comes later in the deal, but you start stacking those, and those are great. That's similar to how I started. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I started like more doing like new construction stuff, like touring the model homes because I used to work for a home builder.
Right. Okay. Like, I think I did know that.
You were probably still in junior high. So it's fine.
Don't age yourself, Amy.
It's
You're
fine,
25.
Sarah. It's fine. But like when I was like 20, like before I had kids, so literally it was like 20 years ago that I worked for a home builder. And so then I got into real estate. Like when I got my real estate license, I was like, I think buyers don't realize that they can negotiate on new construction.
Oh, you absolutely can.
Yeah, they think they just go in and
absolutely.
buy the house like 100%. You're buying a pair of shoes at Nordstrom.
And you know what has been so cool for me is that now the biggest thing I've learned that's worked super well for my business is that I have treated the new construction sales reps like they're my referral partners. I'm literally asking them on their way up to tour at the model. Yeah. Do you guys want a coffee? Yeah. I bring them a little Christmas thing, pop by I'm giving to my clients. Yeah. They eat it up because nobody does that.
No one does that.
That's like the secret sauce. Yeah. So I have now had these new construction reps reach out to me and say, hey, Sarah, I had a client come in today and they want to purchase such and such plan. They have a home to sell. Can I refer my client to you and they'll become your client and then you can sell that home? Yeah. And I'm like, whoa. You know what I mean?
It supports two different arms in your business.
It's been like transformative to my entire business strategy because it just opened so many doors for me that frankly, I still think it's an untapped market in Spokane.
I think it's a hugely untapped market everywhere. Yes. And I always think like the other thing too is like having these relationships with builders is so important. And when you can come and pitch their product, like I don't understand why builders just have one agent sitting in a model home
I don't get it either.
with a sign in the front yard and a flagpole.
They should have a Sarah Roy out there selling their homes on Instagram.
Like without any social media.
Right.
Like it's a huge missed opportunity.
It is. Oh, absolutely.
So you almost get to be like, I don't even know what you would call yourself, but like a free agent where you can go.
It's kind of like the best of both
pitch
worlds.
A new build product and say, hey, this is everything that you should like. This is all the selling features of this house.
And I do.
You know,
and then I get to go sell resale too. You know what? I was at a model home. I toured with some clients on Saturday. So I was just at a model home and I met this builder rep for the first time. Yeah. And she's been with this builder for quite a few years. And she was like, you should just come work for us. And I said, oh, I mean, no, we're so far from that. Yeah. Like, I want to sell resale too. But I'm like, wow, what a compliment to me. And she was like, I recognize you. I know who you are. We've never met, but like, you should come and work for us because you know the product so well.
Because you know the product so well.
And like, I do, because I believe in it. And there are builders I wouldn't work with, and there are builders I would work with, right? Like, there's a slew. There's a whole range.
Hey, there's guys you date, and there's guys you don't date.
Right.
We know
like,
that.
Some things are
and it's the same with clients, too.
Right.
Yeah, it's the same with clients, too. There's certain clients I'm like, I'm not touching your deal.
No,
thank
you.
And
you can't serve everybody.
No.
So that's the great thing about new construction is I understand it, I believe in it, I live in it. And so the people that want that lifestyle, they're gravitating towards me because they're like, Sarah gets it. Yeah. She understands. And then I don't have to serve the clients necessarily, you know, who want something on 20 acres that's falling down that's going to need all these different inspections and and all the things that I don't specialize in. And I still do transactions like that, but I'm attracting the people that kind of want to like emulate what I'm living in. Totally. And it's working so well because they feel like we're besties.
That's the thing too is I think so many agents want to like be everything to everyone, and that's the huge miss we're seeing with a lot of agents where it's like if you highly specialize, you win. You win.
And I win in both realms. I still do resale and I still do new construction. And I even had I had a closing in, I think it was in January, and I didn't know this gal, right? She DM'd me on Instagram. Yeah. And we were talking on the phone during the transaction about the inspection or something. And she was like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I found you. And I said, hold on. Yeah. I said, I don't usually ask this, but can you literally tell me, how did you find me? And she was like, I searched in the Instagram search bar, Spokane Realtor, right? She says you and like a slew of other agents popped up. She said, I went to your profile and we wanted to buy new. And you said in your carousels, in your reels, that you are really great at new construction. So that's why I DM'd you.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
well, and that's the other thing. Let's get into social media just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Because, we could have like...
Amy and I could talk for hours.
I feel like we could teach a college course on social media and like that would be really cool, actually. And it would be so fun. But I think people think that Instagram is lucky or whatever, but really it's a search engine, and so is YouTube. YouTube, I think, is a great platform for agents to build on as well. Those would be my top 2 platforms: Instagram or YouTube. Yeah. But like being searchable on Instagram,
it's key.
This episode is sponsored by StanStore, the simplest way to turn your social media followers into clients. Want to build your database straight from Instagram without the tech headaches? I've got you. Click the link in the show notes to download my website template for realtors, designed to help you capture leads and grow your business with ease. Because your social media should be more than just likes. It should be your lead generating machine.
There's very few things you can do to elevate your profile. I was actually looking at someone's profile earlier today, and I noted to myself that she didn't have her location in her name line. I thought I should DM her and tell her.
And I have my location in my name.
I think it's really important. I think it's important because
if you're doing transactions and you're focused on transactions, it does need to say like,
where do
Phoenix
you serve?
Realtor. Yes, Spokane Realtor.
Because how is someone supposed to search for you in a service capacity?
Yeah, mine says social media coach. Or real estate social media coach, I think.
Something like that. Yeah. But you know what? I feel like if that's your focus, then it's working so well.
But that's when we talk about being searchable on Instagram, we're talking about the bold line in your bio.
Yes.
In your Instagram profile.
The dark black one. It's bolded. Bolded. Name line.
So mine says like Amy Gregory, and then I do like the tall.
Yes, I do the same thing. That is. Like the divider.
I don't even know what that's called. My English teacher would be so sad.
You know what? We're great at a lot of things, and I'm like, whatever. Yeah. I don't have time to know what that's called.
I don't know what it's called either. And then it should say, if you're focusing on transactions, yours probably says Spokane Realtor.
It does say Spokane Realtor.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's because location is, and I think that's the other thing is agents, they think they need to like be talking to everyone. And it's like, if you are looking to like buy and sell in Spokane, you really just need to like localize your content.
Absolutely.
And like say the neighborhoods out loud. Like where I live, Morrison Ranch would be a neighborhood. Morrison Ranch, like have that all over your content because the algorithm is going to go find those people. Like, I mean, don't you think your phone's listening to you? I think my phone is listening to us. It
absolutely does.
Right?
Do you know how many ads I get after I talk about that I want a certain crop top or I don't know what I want? Platform. What am I wearing?
I don't know. Sandals? Bathing suits. Like, you talk about like needing bathing suits for spring break, and then all of a sudden you have a million ads for bathing suits, right? So that's the thing is if like in your content you're saying, you know, Phoenix, Arizona. Sorry.
Right. Well, and even for me too, like I have noticed that other agents are now associating me with Spokane New Construction. I have agents in my own MLS that message me and text me all the time. Hey, I saw that you said that you negotiated such and such rate, but the builder was advertising this rate. Like, how'd you do that? I'm like, oh, this isn't even for clients.
I don't think agents realize that you really
this is for other agents
negotiate on new builds.
Isn't that so interesting? I didn't even anticipate that at all, but that's been an interesting revelation for me too.
Well, the other thing though too is, okay, number one, this is what I want you to do. What? Okay, you should teach like a class on how to negotiate with new builds.
I should.
Open it up to all agents, right?
Just bring them coffee. That's all they want, and they'll give you a better rate.
Right?
Literally, it's not like
but there are some nuances.
There's nuances, though. You're right.
Of like what you can negotiate because you're not negotiating on the price.
No, that's never on the price.
You are not
0 times.
You are not negotiating on the price.
Never on the price.
And you have to think about it from the builder's perspective because all of these houses have to appraise and comp against each other. Right. They are not taking $20,000 off the price for you. It's not happening.
Honestly, I have found that when I give that expectation to clients that are buying new, it takes pressure off.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I don't have to worry about paying $20,000 over for this house versus the next one that's the same plan that just sold. I'm like,
No, the builder can't do that. They'll like shoot themselves in the foot. They cannot do that.
The price that's listed is the price you pay, and we will negotiate your incentives.
Yes.
And they're like, oh, that's so much less stressful.
Yes.
Literally, I'm like, it is.
Yes.
I know.
But I think you should teach like a hour-long Zoom meeting about how to negotiate on a new build. Because then here's the other thing. You're in Spokane. Are you like an inbound city or an outbound city?
Inbound.
Yeah.
Like, Spokane's population has literally went from 250,000 people to 500,000 people in the last like 7 or 8 years.
Wow.
It's insane.
That's crazy.
Mostly from Seattle, Portland.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
If you don't know if you're an inbound city or an outbound city, you should go find out. Google it.
You can ask ChatGPT.
Yeah, Google it.
It'll tell you everything.
Like, we don't know what the line is that goes vertical, but we can tell in your profile, but we can Google just about everything
I know how much volume I've sold so far this year. I'll tell you that much.
So, but like the other opportunity I think though is that if you're an inbound city, then you'll have agents referring their clients to you.
And I do.
Which is another huge play of Instagram.
It's huge. You know what, Amy? Honestly, me growing my Instagram and all this stuff that's come to fruition with my following and everything that's been so great in the last like 18 months, I never for a second even thought I would have a referral arm of my business. Yeah. It didn't even occur to me. And I think I have like 3 pending referral transactions out of 8 right now.
Most of my business issue has been referrals from agents out of state.
Inbound and outbound, but it's very cool.
I love an outbound referral.
Oh, outbound referrals?
The greatest.
I have like 2 closing in the next 2 weeks. I'm like, great.
This is phenomenal.
I barely even did anything.
Let's talk about social media in the context. So just so you know, we're going to hold Sarah to it. I'm checking our time. Oh, gosh. Just so you know, Sarah's going to teach a class to agents about how to negotiate new builds. Number 2 is let's talk about clear cooperation, all the NAR stuff that's going on. Have you even read into any of it? I haven't read any articles.
New NAR stuff?
Yeah, like where it's like clear cooperation. Have you heard anything about it? See, I love this about us because we're just busy building our businesses.
I can only work on my own business because I'm in my own business every day.
I'll give you the premise of it.
Okay.
And then I just want to hear your quick take because I think it'll align with mine, but I literally have no idea. Hot take. We should do a segment, hot takes.
You should do that. That's actually a really good idea.
Okay, hot take right now. Okay. So the clear cooperation is like they're saying like sellers can say they don't want to have like there's certain brokerages that are like holding their listings private, not putting them on the MLS, which means then they don't go on Zillow or like they don't get syndicated.
They're not at all.
Yeah, so they're not on the MLS. Okay. They're like in their the brokerage is holding the listings, right? And theoretically, you can.
You're right. I did hear something about this.
Well, you can see how last week. If you take EXP and there's 89,000 agents across the world, the country, whatever, and you would say, would you have your own database where you just show it to your own agents and why would a seller want to do that? I don't really know. But if it's not on the MLS, that means it's not syndicating to like Zillow or Realtor.com or all these other websites that the consumer is using heavily. Right? Tell me your quick take on this and how it plays into like having your own social media following and how valuable does your social media following become?
I mean, my quick take on that is, I guess, why would a seller want to only advertise their home in one place? Wouldn't a seller want their home to be advertised on Zillow and Realtor where the average seller or average buyer is looking?
I would think
so. That's my first thought because it feels limiting to only have a home advertised in a certain smaller database.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a scenario.
I'm like, where would that make
people
sense?
Can be like, well, someone's sick or has passed. Okay, there's maybe like a really, really fine scenario or someone's like uber wealthy and they want to stay super, super private. But I feel like the people that are really wealthy understand marketing.
And then just don't do a walkthrough tour of their house.
Otherwise they wouldn't be wealthy.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't agree with that. I think, like, let's show this house off. Let's give access to every single buyer possible. I mean, to your...
Well, I think it just, like, it's just math. And, for, like, every X amount of showings, you should get an offer. Right? So, and I don't know if listing agents realize that. Like, that opening weekend, like, you want to have as many people in that house as possible because that's how you generate offers.
Right.
But what I think is interesting is... Okay, let's say they allow things to not syndicate to Zillow and brokerages are starting to hold listings private. All of a sudden, like, the agent with the huge social media following, I feel like becomes fundamentally more valuable.
Right, more sought after.
Which then is also interesting when we go into, like, all the commissions, whatever, and being like, that whole thing was crazy about it being a monopoly. And I'm like, well, great. Now we can charge whatever we want.
Right.
Awesome. Because now I have this social media following that does make me more valuable. So then as a listing agent, when we typically charge 3%, well, okay, now I'm 6%.
I was just telling, we were just at brunch, and I was just telling some of the girls that my new philosophy going forward is I'm charging 3.5% for my services on a listing.
Love that.
That means I'm paying for staging and I'm paying for media.
Yeah.
But I just feel that I've established myself as the authority in Spokane, to be honest.
Yeah.
I literally I had a seller message me like 2 months ago, and she goes, I want you to list my house because I want you to do a video exactly like this one that you did. Yeah. And she sent my own listing video to me. Yeah. And I'm like, that is exactly what I'm trying to do.
And I think, so
it was very validating.
Yeah. Well, and when they want to say all these things of like, oh, agents aren't doing anything, whatever, like,
try me. You should see my Trello board.
You used to be a hairstylist.
I did.
Right? There's great clips.
Absolutely.
And then there was me when I was a stylist. And it was far elevated. Oh yeah. Yeah. Like I pay a lot to get my hair done. Right. Right. Same. And there's just people that are like, oh, I'm going to do it myself, and I'm like, I don't even paint my own nails. No. Like this idea, I'm like, what are you talking about?
I know. So that's an interesting. I mean, we could talk for days about that.
Oh, it's wild.
I mean, we could go on.
Or like the flat fee model.
That too.
Where I'm like, why would an agent do that?
Right.
Early on in my career, I had neighbor is an overstatement. Friend is a way overstatement. But like an acquaintance that happened to be at my house that was also in real estate. Okay. And I was like saying like, they're like, oh, well, what do you charge for your listings? And I said, well, I'm charging like a normal 3%. This was before all the NAR stuff. Yeah. And he's like, oh, I don't know why anyone would pay that on $1 million house. And I was like, oh, are you out of your mind? Right.
You're like, well, that
person, their hourly rate is so high, and they actually have assets to lose. And the best way to get sued is to sell your own house and like mess it up. Gosh, I know, right? You know what I mean?
Plus, like, let's be honest, people that own multi-million-dollar homes, they're probably busy. They have a lot going on. Don't you think they want the agent that's full service? Myself right now, I say, we'll schedule your cleaner. We'll do your staging. I have a listing going up in a couple days. Cleaners are there right now. Staging's going up. Photography.
I love that.
It's like we're like a well-oiled machine. Yeah. And so my clients are like, I can literally see them when I sit down to the listing appointment and I give them the listing presentation. They like audibly, they're like, okay. They like literally relax because they're like, okay, she's got it.
Well, and that's the other thing is it's like, okay, so are you paying for the cleaners to go and clean their house?
So I'm very transparent. I'm like, listen, if you guys have a budget for cleaners, I will schedule it. My team will get all that organized. Yeah. You just tell me what you want to pay. Yeah. So most people say, okay, we'll pay up to $250, we'll pay up to $500, whatever that looks like, right? And I say, okay, if there's an instance, which does happen, that the cleaners go and their budget per the seller is $500, and the cleaner's like, listen,
like, this is more expensive.
This is going to be like $850, which is not typical. Yeah. But I'll say, okay, I'll cover the rest.
Well, yeah, because
or whatever that looks like, because it needs to happen.
It needs to happen, and it helps it sell.
That $300 is a drop in the bucket to make the listing look so much better. Yeah, and it just translates so well in photos and in person, obviously. And then I pay for staging and photography. And I've heard that Spokane staging and photography is fairly inexpensive. Mm-hmm. So I know there's a lot of people that have been in my coaching groups. And I just had a girl that was in Manhattan, and she was telling me about the average staging cost there. Yeah. It was like $13,000 to $20,000 for a condo. And I'm like, okay, so you're not going to be paying for staging.
Yes, no, that's
I'm going to be paying for staging.
So it's just like $8,000 to $10,000.
It's just different market, different, style of doing business. But it's what's working really well for me because a lot of other agents aren't doing that. Yeah. And Spokane tends to be like 5 years behind every other major metropolitan city. So in 5 years, other agents will be doing that. Yeah. So I'll have to pivot and offer more. But for now, it's like,
that's what we're doing.
It's working great.
I love it. Okay, tell me before we wrap up, what are you most excited about heading into like the rest of the year? Your business is like scaling. It's growing.
So many things. I mean, I think overall, I'm just really excited to have the support that I've needed. Like they always say, like you hire support after you realize that you needed it, right?
That's so true.
That was me. Yeah. And so I really was operating at full capacity. Like you can ask my husband. I said 2024 is my hustle year. I'm not pregnant. I'm not having a baby. Like we're going full steam ahead. And I was like exhausted. Yeah. So I brought on a full-time assistant in October, and now I have a full-time buyer's agent who is helping tour homes when I'm not there, and she goes to inspections. And I'm just so excited to have the help on the back end that I've never had.
Yeah.
So that I can still transact and actually grow, because I am still growing.
Yeah.
But like take a load off.
Yeah.
Take a load off.
So I like to call that like a little micro team.
Right.
Which is so fun.
Like, I guess I don't know that I have a micro team.
Yeah, you totally do.
Desi's like the micro team queen.
She is the queen. She is the queen. She's the
But
best.
it is like a micro team. Yeah. It's been really great.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So we'll be able to bring on more transactions.
Do more deals, working the same or less.
Yeah.
It's been great.
That's
and it will continue to be even better once I keep refining and
Yeah.
And, you know,
absolutely.
It's always fluid. It's never going to be the same.
Well, I think that's the thing is agents, the best agents realize that the market's always going to change.
Right.
The opportunity is always going to shift, and you have to be a bit flexible.
Totally.
In your plans, right? So you have a plan, but you're always you're willing to adjust the plan.
We may have to shift it a little bit.
Yeah,
depending on what happens. I mean, you know.
Absolutely.
But it'll be great.
Sarah, thank you so much for being here. We will drop all of her contact information below so you can go and like, follow, subscribe, all of the things. We will see you next week on The Amy Gregory Show.
Thank you, Amy.
Thanks for tuning in to The Amy Gregory Show. If today's episode gave you that I needed this feeling, go ahead and hit subscribe so you never miss a pep talk when you need it most. And hey, if you're ready to scale your business without the burnout, I've got you. Head over to @AmyGregory on Instagram to connect, grab free resources, or join my community of powerhouse women who are redefining real estate success. Until next time, trust your gut, take up space, and remember, you're just one bold move away from your next breakthrough.